Hello, I'm Dow Bartling, and I certainly hope that you're going to enjoy a brighter summer day. Yeah, this time of year it still continues. The older I am, the more that I think. And I come across an article, kind of a little white paper, and it got me thinking on two words: role and goals. Now, I'm not speaking of like an almond crescent roll, which would be good right about now. I'm speaking of ROLE, your role. And it kind of got me thinking a little bit on some different roles that I observed and roles that I played myself. And the point of the article was this: the role is secondary to the goal. The most important thing is the goal. One of the first recollections I can have of those two differences of role and goal, what was this? I participated, maybe as you can remember at different times I've mentioned, in baseball and my love for baseball. I think some of it was due to the being on military bases, that the young servicemen, part of their role that they seemed to enjoy was coaching baseball. Well, this wasn't on a military base at all. It was actually in a little town. And of course, as baseball leagues would go, you would start at this age and maybe you'd play a couple years and maybe the older guys would move up and then you would play with some younger guys and you'd move across as you got older and played with different so-called leagues. Well, this particular league, there was a young boy, let's call him GE. Now, GE, he was a good player, no doubt about it. And he played probably two positions: shortstop and pitcher. Now, it seemed like GE loved both of them. But you see, someone else kind of picked out his goal. You see, his father wanted him to be always a pitcher. And maybe it was just the upbringing or whatever, but you see, GE's dad owned the grocery store. And I'm speaking of a little town of maybe 500 people. So he was kind of up there as a so-called pillar of the community, and he wanted GE's son to be then the pitcher. And he would almost hound the coach, it seemed like to me back then, for GE to be the pitcher. But I'll give the coach credit. He knew that, again, GE loved both positions. And he knew that GE, at that point, didn't have the stamina, that he would start out good and then he would tire out. But at shortstop, he was strong all the way through. And so the coach just got serious with the father and let him know that for the good of the whole team, for the goal of the whole team, it's best if GE would be a shortstop. Now, in the later innings, coach would bring GE in, and he would do fantastic. But you see, the role that was picked out for GE and the goal that was picked out for GE wasn't for the good of all. And so for the good of all the players there, then GE's role was to be a shortstop. Later, I can remember I had a small little role in which we would practice this move over and over and over. It was called delayed steal. Delayed steal. And what it would be, there would be a player on first base and then one on third base. And what the coach would do is he would give a signal to the player on first base, which would tell the player on first base that he would start to walk almost in a sonder towards second base. And his role was to cause the pitcher to step off the mound and try to throw that player out. And at the same time that he gave that signal and that the person stepped off first, the person on third would start to creep towards home base. And boy, just as soon as the attention was to that player going to second base, and you could see visually that the pitcher was going to throw it to second base to try to get him out, then that runner on third base was already moving towards home plate. Well, I was the player on first base. That was my role. And folks, it worked. Jack was on third base. I was on first base. Coach gave his signal, and it worked perfectly. So all that practice that we had done with that particular little move, the opportunity brought itself, and we were able to reach the goal. It kind of had an effect on me, as you can tell. I'm still talking about it. And good Lord, it happened many, many years ago. I think the thing with role and goal is, one, make sure that your goal is in sync with the system's goal. As I've said before, you work with people and systems. You, as one of those people playing that role, are your goals in sync with the system's goal? And working with those people and systems, is that system, are their goals, is their vision, is their mission, is it in sync with yours, particularly with your core values, which helps determine your particular personal goals and the different roles that you want to be part of, that you want to play. So, roles and goals. The goal is always more important than the role. You always don't have to be the pitcher to help the winning team, to get that feeling of winning. Sometimes it may be just a little delayed steal. So, as you can probably imagine, it's a little bit in the morning here. So I want to go out and have myself a brighter summer day. And whatever role that you may be playing today, I want you to go out and have yourself a brighter summer day. And remember this, I'm rooting for you. Yes, I am, because we're in this together, and our goal is to make this a better world. Isn't that a goal? I think it's a good one. And remember this, those that have this goal and play those different roles, blessed are they who ease the pain of misfortune, for they shall be called insurance agents. You take care, and indeed, enjoy the day.